The last 3 times that this happened, Bitcoin went on a skyrocket bus or rocket, whatever. So yeah, Bitcoin has risen more than 50%, but I'm going to cover that in a second. First, we have Sam Altman. He's the CEO of OpenAI, says that we are now confident that we know how to build AGI and release it this year. So there's nothing stopping AI right now, absolutely nothing. We are so early in this space. And one of my biggest narratives that I saw happening during the bear market was getting into AI coins. Like I just knew AI was going to take over the world. There's nothing stopping it. Anything that's even remotely touching AI or trying to make it better is going to do really well. That has a really good community behind it. So if you're part of learningcrypto.com, you will know all of the AI coins that we have gotten into. They were essentially micro caps that some are turning into large caps. Now, I would say about 95 to 93% of them survived. We had a couple that just went kerplunk, and that's fine. That's what to expect, because you can't tell which coins are going to survive over the long run, especially from a bear market to a bull market. But we did really well. And we actually experienced 2 different bull markets, or I would say 2 different semi-alt seasons. One back when Bitcoin was around $25,000 to $30,000 range. Our AI coins went skyrocketing. And then now we're experiencing another one. So let's move on. We have Vivek Ramaswamy saying he's going to launch a Bitcoin bond ETF, or Strive Asset Management is going to be doing that. So it's essentially the old world wanting to adopt the new world. It's pretty freaking boring. Anybody that's born now or 10 years or even 15 years or younger right now, they're not going to ever buy bonds. It's garbage. Okay, stick with crypto, stick with, decentralized finance. That's where to stay, not this centralized garbage, in my opinion. It's not worth it. Teach your kids the opposite way. Don't teach them the old world, because it's pretty boring and there's not a lot of opportunity in that. Okay, so moving on, we have Bitcoin is now worth more than JP Morgan, Visa, and MasterCard combined. So now, Visa, MasterCard, and JP Morgan combined are worth $1.76 trillion, and Bitcoin is now about $1.9 trillion. And that number is going to keep on going up. Why is that? Because the Federal Reserve is going to be alive and well during the next 4 years, regardless of who gets in, and they're going to print so much currency. They're going to impoverish so many people. It's very sad, but that's what's going to happen. They are hell-bent to destroy the United States and try to be the buyers and lenders of last resort. That is the whole point of the Federal Reserve that's been around since 1913 under Woodrow Wilson. People blame Woodrow Wilson, but obviously he's not the backer behind that. You have the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all that stuff. That is another rabbit hole for you. Okay, I'm gonna cover this. Jack Mallers, who understands the Federal Reserve. He understands that this is going to happen. What I last said is going to happen, and it continue to happen. You gotta be absolutely crazy to believe the Federal Reserve right now. They're full of it. And I don't have to, because I own Bitcoin. Thank you. Somebody with a brain that has a lot of people that are following them in this space. Thank you. It's good to finally hear some common sense from somebody, instead of like, oh yeah, Trump's going to save the day. No, he's not. Because if you have the Federal Reserve in office and unelected private Federal Reserve, you're screwed. They're going to print your currency into oblivion. They're going to set your interest rates. You don't have any say in that, none whatsoever. So anything that positive that might be done over the next 4 years is worthless, because the Federal Reserve is still that terminal cancer that is saturated every aspect of the United States. And unless you get rid of that, kill it off, cut it out, it's finished, guys. And if I'm wrong, please leave a comment below of why I'm wrong, and tell me why the Federal Reserve has been around since 1913. I'd love to hear that. Okay, so he continues to say, that's right, that for the first time in our lifetimes, we don't need to be slaves to the Federal Reserve. No manipulation, no games, 21 million, and that's it. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go on to Tony the Bull. He says Bitcoin's weekly correlation with the DXY is the highest since 2016. Check out this graph right here. So you will see so many people saying, okay, you got to look at the DXY, which is the dollar index. It's a basket of currencies, right? But look at the dollar index. The lower the dollar index, the more bullish people get. But keep in mind, we're at like almost $100,000. And the dollar index, DXY, is very, very high right now. Okay, so it's riding the wave with the US dollar. Why is that? You want to know why? Here's the secret that you're not going to learn in schools. You're probably not going to learn on most channels, because the Federal Reserve is printing ridiculous amounts of currency. It always goes back to that entity that prints your currency into oblivion. Okay, they make everything more expensive. Keep that in mind. Now we have Van Eck says that the UAE, Argentina, Ethiopia are already mining Bitcoin with government resources. So, as you've known before, if you've been following me for a while, you will know that the one thing that I said that would be positive with Trump and his cabinet being pro-Bitcoin, I don't know if they're really pro-Bitcoin. I don't trust any politician. But what I know that they're going to be is pro-regulation, but that's not the same thing. Keep that in mind, guys. Bitcoin is permissionless. That is, read the white paper, okay? You just got to read the white paper. I know most people in this crypto space have not read the white paper. My suggestion, please do that. But the benefit of them being pro-Bitcoin is it's going to spur other countries to freak out and go, oh my gosh, we have to get on the Bitcoin bandwagon. Otherwise, we're going to be really left behind. We don't want to lose the people that we already have in this country to go back to the United States or whatever. So lastly, let me cover the most bullish part of this section. Actually, this isn't the most bullish part of this section. The whole part of the Federal Reserve is the most bullish part because, you know, Bitcoin loves monetary inflation. You haven't seen anything yet. Okay, so Tony the Bull once again says CME BTC futures are above 100K, pushing the weekly RSI above 70. RSI is the relative strength index. It's just one indicator of many determining the overbought or oversold aspect of Bitcoin. Okay, so above 70 is the bull zone where Bitcoin is at its strongest. The last 3 instances triggered rallies of 59%, 76%, and 59%. Another 59% to 76% would take us to around $158,000, $174,000. So that is kind of where I think we might be heading. And so that's one thing that we have learningcrypto.com for, is to help guide people of when to sell. You're not going to hear a lot of that because right now people are super, super bullish, but keep in mind, I've been in this space for about 12 years now. You got to sell, guys. Like, you can't just hold on and think that it's going to go up forever. You got to sell. Otherwise, you're going to be miserable for the next bear market. When we do decide to sell later on in this bull market, you're going to be, and if you've allowed us to guide you, you will understand that how amazing a bear market can be, because that's where the most opportunity lies. So you could take at the most advantage of a bear market by selling when you should be, and then when it goes down to those prices, you're going to be loving life, guys. And obviously I'm going to be guiding people when to buy again during the next bear market. And yes, we are going to see another bear market again. I promise, guaranteed. Okay, talk to you soon. Check us out, learningcrypto.com. Bye-bye.